I'd been studying architecture and didn't like the profession, basically, and I really wanted to paint. And I thought I should go to Prahran to study painting, but I think somebody told me I'd never make a living doing that, so I opted for photography. Prahran certainly wasn't just another institution. I didn't really know what to expect, I suppose, but it was a terrific place. It was an amazing group of people and terrific staff, and it was a place where people were allowed to really be themselves and really nurtured creativity. Creativity was seemed to be what it was there for. It also wasn't a place where someone would be considered to be the creative person that everybody else had to admire and follow. It doesn't matter who you were encouraged to find that thing in you. And I think that was enormously important. And I think people coming out of Prahran, all to a degree, they probably went in, I certainly went in as a somewhat confused individual, and I was probably still a bit confused when I left. But I'd been allowed to find myself, and that's a very rare thing even these days, I think, in an institution, or perhaps particularly these days. I work in the area of nature conservation, in protection of the natural world. And in that capacity I work with a lot of photographers, some of them amateur, some of them professional, but people who really, in every free moment, to photograph either plants or animals or the broad landscape. I use those photographs to persuade people of the importance of protecting natural areas. It's not the only sort of photography that I work with or respond to, but it's the one that I most often work with in my life, and it's a hugely important part of what I do. I think there was certainly a great creative energy that came out of Prahran when I was there. It's like that old thing of dropping a pebble in the pond and it just sort of keeps spreading, and I think Prahran was that sort of place. I don't know why, whether it was teachers like Paul Cox. He was certainly wanted that to happen and let it happen, and encouraged it. I can't remember him ever telling someone their photograph was wrong. He really let people to find themselves, and that's the most important thing that can come out of a place. It was a great place to be. You can't have too much freedom of expression. There's no such thing. I think what you need to do is to also have the tools to allow that expression. Again, I think that's another thing that was there at Prahran, is that people didn't just learn from teachers, they learned from each other. If a school operates that way, then you kind of operate that way for the rest of your life.